some people to pop in, but we'll just talk for now. How you been? How's San Antonio?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Just been hanging out mainly, um, doing some broadcasts, but there hasn't been a lot lately. So
How many? What was the last game you called?
there was a game on. I had a game on Saturday, so a couple days ago.
Beautiful.
The next game isn't until February 10th, so a week, which is part of the reason why I'm able to go to Lawrence and KC for the Super Bowl. So
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. When's the flight? When's your flight Friday?
I'm leaving San Antonio at like 12, I think.
12 o'clock.
Getting into Kansas City at like 6.
There we go.
Or 5:30, something like that.
Well, I just found out I have to work Sunday night at the station. Yeah, I got to work at 8 o'clock to midnight. So.
Oh, the good news is the game it won't be over by 8.
Oh,
It'll be close though.
No. I don't know if it'll be over by 8 because of halftime show. I'm thinking
it won't be over by 8 because it starts at 5:30.
Dang, and that's just the opening ceremony stuff too.
Yes, it starts at 5:30, right? Takes 8:30.
Well, it'll be like the third quarter probably by 8.
Are you pumped?
Oh, absolutely. I'm hyped, bro.
Listen, you gonna watch it at Midges?
Yeah. I think that's the plan for now. Yeah.
Boom.
Listen, last year I was very nervous and it was horrible, and I had a lot of stress because it was the first time. But this year I'm pretty relaxed for now, so I feel pretty good.
We all are, and I mean it makes sense. We expect to win every game, so.
Yeah. Last year was an absolute disaster. It was bad before the game for me, but I'm more relaxed this year. So.
Oh, hey, we got our first comment of the Coffee's on Springer. Do you wanna get on this new big investment opportunity with us?
Oh, dude, I always want to become famous. Let's go.
Yeah, we could buy some followers. I think like throw in 20 each. Let's see where $60 gets us.
Yep, I'm down.
That could be like our first investment into Coffee's on. No, but compared to last season, you're feeling good now. Are you thinking possibly same kind of game as the AFC Championship or a bit closer?
I don't know. Obviously when the Chiefs played the Bucs earlier in the season, they were blowing them out for 3 quarters, and then they stopped playing, and the Bucs came back and made it close. So I mean, I think it's probably going to be a pretty close game. Because obviously you guys know the Chiefs don't blow teams out. Their defense isn't good enough for them to actually blow teams out for the most part. So I think it's going to be pretty close most of the way. I'd be surprised. And listen, last year, and I kind of feel the same this year, but last year I wanted the Chiefs to get down because I felt like for the most part all season long they played better when they were losing, which was true. By the way, they literally were losing in every playoff game and they ended up winning all of them. So I don't know if I feel the same way this year because they looked really good against the Bills, but the Bills suck. I was mad about that because everyone was like, "Oh, the Bills are playing great football." The Bills were not playing great football. They're bad. They literally are horrible. Josh Allen sucks. They're a bunch of bums, and the Chiefs beat them as they should have. So I mean,
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. But obviously the Bucs, I mean, they've looked pretty good for the most part. Tom Brady looked horrible in the second half against the Packers, which I think is a good thing for the Chiefs. But I think the biggest issue for the Chiefs against the Bucs is the Bucs pass rush, especially with Eric Fisher being out now. Like that could be a serious problem. But beyond that, the Chiefs don't make mistakes. Patrick Mahomes doesn't make mistakes. So all they have to do is just play their game. And I think that if they play their game, they're probably going to win. They should win.
What do you think that the Bucs have to do to win this Super Bowl? Play me some devil's advocate with me, thinking of what the Bucs have to do, because this is still a Super Bowl. This is still a Tom Brady led team that's
absolutely.
That's pulled off beating Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers just to get to the Super Bowl.
Well, Drew Brees was on his last legs and old, and so whatever.
Yeah,
and Aaron Rodgers, the coaching for the Packers got in the way for them, which caused them a chance to win the game. But I think you're right. Obviously, Tom Brady is Tom Brady. So this is not a situation where we can just say, all right, the Chiefs are probably going to win this game. It's Tom Brady has beaten the Chiefs before in different scenarios, but I think, like I said, the biggest thing for the Bucs that they can do that's really going to give them a chance to win is going to be applying pressure to Mahomes. They sacked Aaron Rodgers, I think, 6 or 7 times. If they do that to the Chiefs, that is a serious problem for the Chiefs. And then offensively, the Chiefs defense, I would dispute this as well. People always talk about the Chiefs defense not being that great, but the reality situation is the Chiefs defense, time and time again, when they've needed to, have stepped up and played pretty well. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I think that the Chiefs defense is probably fine. They're going to give up. They're probably going to give up, between 20 and 30 points, but usually the Chiefs score more than that, so it's not a big deal. But the Bucs could run the ball with Leonard Fournette, but I don't think that would be a very good strategy for them. As you and I argued previously, if you're going to beat the Chiefs, you have to score. So
right.
The Bucs need to have that mentality. And another positive for the Bucs is, we know Bruce Arians is a very aggressive coach. He's very aggressive, likes to throw deep. So if I'm the Bucs, if I am across midfield and it's 4th and 6 or less, I'm going for it every time. There's no reason to kick field goals against the Chiefs. 0. You're literally losing points against the Chiefs. Go for it every time, right? So if the Bucs do that, they don't let coaching get in the way of them scoring as many points as possible.
Right.
And they're able to run the ball successfully. Plus they have, Tom Brady and they have a lot of good weapons, obviously. So it's going to be tough for the Chiefs defense. But if they do those things, plus they get a lot of pressure on Mahomes defensively, then I think they probably have a decent shot, honestly, to win I think it's going to be a close game. But I'm favoring the Chiefs.
I love it. The game plan is don't focus around Leonard Fournette, because that'll definitely not get you a win. And play Tom Brady's style offense. Don't play the Bruce Arians style of offense. I'm getting that double audio again. Crap.
You get double audio. It's all good, though.
No, it's all right. Let me see. All right. So here's let's go ahead and introduce you, Nick, to the people in the crowd, our audience here today. Good morning, Mr. Martin. Oh, yeah, we're not using our phone camera today. Good morning, Mr. Martin. Love our good mornings from Chris's dad every day. He always says, good morning, gentlemen. So we always say, good morning, Mr. Martin. Good morning, Mr. Martin. And so Springer here, Nick Springer is a KU alum. Yeah, he's a water guy, not a coffee guy, but he is
water.
But he does drink water, and he is a KU graduate. Graduated with Monda Journalism School with us, did KJHK with us. We had some good times in the broadcast booth doing some KU men's basketball.
Absolutely.
We did a KU women's basketball game together. Remember that last minute arrangement that we had to do together? It ended up being a pretty good game, and KU won.
You know what I remember? I think it was you and I think Armand, both of you guys were on the call for the game, the KU K-State game where Silvio picked up the chair, and I was in studio for it. I was on the board and I was getting ready to leave, and you guys are like, "Oh my God, he's got a chair!" Oh, and I'm like, "Bro, what is going on? I don't even know what's happening." I was about to leave.
We're about to hit that 1 year anniversary of that, actually. Yeah, but we already did.
It was like last week.
Yeah, it was crazy. Me and Armand I forgot we were calling that game together. And
you guys were on the call. I was on the board in the studio, and I was hearing you guys just freaking out, and I didn't know what was going on. It was wild.
I think that was the same game. Oh, and here Mr. Shaw is in the building. Good morning, Mr. Shaw.
Right in.
I think another thing about that game too, you were locked out of the studio, correct?
Yeah, because so during that game, somebody pulled the fire alarm at the Union, during the first half, and everyone had to go outside. And I was like trying to call Mike, and I don't know what to do, bro. The fire alarm's going off, and that was the same game because it was in the first half. The fire alarm started going off, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just go outside and try not to catch on fire.
And I think that that game there was some difficulty with KJHK. We'll leave it at that. But there was something they wanted to play. They had a live music thing going on that day, but we also had a KUK State game going on that day. So we had to figure a couple things. And I'm telling Springer, hey, here's this real difficult thing. You're going to be doing this. And on top of all of that, I forgot about the fire alarm. That's kind of crazy.
I personally believe that somebody from K-State, a K-State fan, pulled the fire alarms just to mess with us. That's what I think.
Wow, what a crazy time.
That was some good stuff. So tell us about last year's Super Bowl. You're coming back to Lawrence again this year for this one. Tell us about. Can you recap us your Super Bowl night from Super Bowl 54?
Okay, well, during the day before the game, it was really bad. I was very stressed. I basically had a semi-panic attack almost. Really,
That's okay. That's okay.
And then I couldn't really eat anything. And then once the game started, I actually was doing a lot better. And like I said, last season I had maintained my philosophy that the Chiefs needed to be down in a game in order to win because they played better when they were down. They got down 24-0 to the Texans, won. They were down 10. They were down 10 against the Titans, won that one too. And then of course against the 49ers, they were down 10 in the fourth quarter and came back and won too. So other people were stressed, but I actually. When they were down 10, I was like, okay, they're going to win now for sure. Absolutely. Okay. So I was feeling pretty good. And then obviously after the game, the celebrations was pretty wild. I cried a lot. It was really emotional because, there's pretty much, I don't want to basically there's pretty much nothing in the world that I care more about than the Chiefs. Right. So, that's, okay. It was a very emotional time, and then, I was in Lawrence and I went down to Mass Street, but I kind of missed the crowds because.
So you got the party on the streets kind of when it was bare then, when most of the people were gone?
Well, so what happened was I was very intoxicated, basically.
Yeah, that's all right.
And
we all were.
I went down to Mass and I was at the wrong block. I didn't see where the crowds were and I was really confused. And then I ended up walking home because I was in a really, really drunken state. I called my sister. That was really exciting. I called our friend Patrick Norton because I don't know why. I don't remember why I called him, but
because he's a Bears fan and you just got to rub it in his face.
No, it was more like
drafted Mahomes.
It was more like hey, I'm sorry the Bears suck, but the Chiefs are great. Whatever, right? I don't remember why I called him.
You really called?
I don't know.
That's
and
great.
Then I just went home, and just kind of. I didn't even know what. I didn't know what to do. Yeah, I don't know. The Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. It's something that, and maybe you guys can relate. It's something that for a long time was this thing that I wanted to happen, but I never actually thought it would happen. I never really believed that the Chiefs were going to go win the Super Bowl, right? My entire childhood, I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. The Chiefs, they're probably not going to do it, right?
Yeah.
So, as it became more and more of a possibility reality, there's this roller coaster of emotions of holy shit, they might actually, go win it. And then, what am I going to do after they win? What do people do when their team wins the Super Bowl? I don't know. The Chiefs never won a Super Bowl. I didn't know what to do. I'm just running around like a crazy guy. I don't know. What do people do when their team wins the Super Bowl? That's what I was thinking. And then the Chiefs did, and I was like, all right, well, I don't know. So,
you ran around just
literally ran around and it was crazy. So and as I told you guys earlier, this year I'm feeling more relaxed. I'll probably start to feel more stressed closer to the game. Last year, it was literally from the minute they won the AFC Championship game, it was I was scared and nervous and terrified, right? But this year, I'm feeling more relaxed, and I think I'll be. Okay, if the Chiefs lose, I think I'll be sad, obviously, but I don't think I'll be extremely sad because one, they already won one, and two, they're positioned to go back, for multiple years in the future. I would say at this point. So if they lose really what will hurt the most if they lose this year will be the fact that it'll be to Tom Brady. That'll piss me off. But beyond that, if the Chiefs had lost last year, I would have passed away probably. I would have just ceased to exist, honestly. But they didn't, which is good. But this year, if they lose, I'll be really disappointed and sad, but it won't be as bad as if they had lost last year.
That's all right. Well, hey, we're talking with our good friend Nick Springer, good KU friend that we met our freshman year. You didn't live in Ellsworth, though. You lived in one of the newer dorms, right? Self?
Yeah, I was in Self.
You were in Self. We met through KJHK. What floor were you on in Self?
I was on the fourth floor, top floor.
Fourth floor self. All right, so fourth
Yep.
floor self. He's an avid NASCAR viewer. We have a question from our audience. One of our top fans, Raj. He wants to know: did you go to the parade?
I did go to the parade, actually. I stood out in the cold for basically 5 hours, and yeah, I was there. It was really exciting. Because I got to Kansas City at like 7:30, 8 a.m. maybe 8. And the parade didn't start till like 11, but I wanted to get a really good spot, right? So I was near the end of the route, and it was a great time. And it snowed, which was good, except it was really cold. But I was bundled up, so it was fun. The parade was really awesome, and obviously now it's crazy to think about the fact that there was that many people all together, but it was really exciting.
You're right, Springer. This is off topic because the coffee's starting to hate. You said you lived in Self. So your first day, I'm assuming you. No, wait. Yeah, I'm going somewhere with it, even though it's just about me.
This isn't stuff that I like. Go ahead.
That first day, we move in, right? That first week, it was the Thursday. It was the 18th, and then the 19th is a Friday. I don't know if you remember, but I'm assuming
I remember.
You were in Lawrence, correct? You were at Self Oswald, right?
Yes.
Do you remember everyone gathering and singing happy birthday to someone? He does.
I don't remember that. No.
There. Okay.
Was it you? Wait, was it you?
Yeah, but it was all of Self and Oswald. But I didn't know if you were in that crowd. It was the second day. So we moved in on a Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Well, that Friday, because some people from my high school went to Self, and I just got to know people. But my birthday was on the Friday, the 19th.
Got to know people.
Well, I mean, I just like 5 people, but then because small town, a lot of people from Overland Park lived in.
Here's my question:
Uh-huh.
Where was it specifically, or that just happened? Like in the
in
common area, like
in the common area, yeah.
Okay.
Because we were at first at one of the floors, and the RAs told us to go downstairs because we weren't at the floors because of me. I'm not saying it was because of me. Everyone gathered from Self Oswald because it was crazy. Everyone wanted to get together, but obviously he wasn't there. I guess because he's not cool.
Unfortunately, I'm terribly sorry to inform you that I was not there. I don't remember that. I'm sorry, buddy.
Maybe it was a dream. Maybe it didn't happen then.
Did you ever catch any other birthdays in Self?
Besides mine,
Yeah.
not really. I don't know.
No, yeah. So Armand, that was like a once in a lifetime thing. That's crazy. That was a one time thing and stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's a good story. I'm sure it did happen. If it was the Friday, I was probably just like still unpacking. Honestly, I probably was in my room for the most part. I don't know.
What was one of your favorite classes that you took at KU? And don't say Western Civilization because I remember our conversations about
Western Civ sucked.
Yeah. Okay, good.
It was probably, I don't know. I took a lot of history classes, and I liked all of them because I like history.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah, this guy's a history nut.
You better mute it.
I double major. I was double major, history and journalism. So I got 2 degrees.
What's your specialization in history? Was there a certain area of history?
Definitely like modern American history. So basically 20th century American history, I would say.
Okay, so the 19.
So like for instance, I took a class on the Korean War, which was pretty interesting, and then I took a Great Depression class. I was in last year, right when the pandemic started. I was in a Kansas history class that I was pretty excited for, but then the pandemic obviously screwed it all up, so that kind of sucked. But
history, huh? 20th century. So we're talking 1900s.
He just gave an example. We should
make another one. So more people are coming in here. We've been kind of getting off topic, but kind of going back, not really Chiefs, but Springer, you're in San Antonio. Why don't you tell people what you're doing in San Antonio? You're not just our friend from college. You're a little cooler. We have a lot of friends. We could have asked anyone. There's a reason we asked.
You're a lot cooler.
Why don't you tell us what you do at Incarnate Word?
Okay, yeah. So basically, um, after I graduated from KU in May, you guys probably had the same problem. I couldn't find any sports jobs, so I was like, "Well, this sucks, right?" So I'm just out here, fucking can't find anything. And then in like June or July, I found an opportunity at the University of Incarnate Word, which is a school in San Antonio, that was offering a GA position for broadcasting, radio broadcasting for their sports. So I applied, and I eventually heard back from them, and they offered me the job, and I took it. And so in August, I moved down to San Antonio and started working for UIW, University of Incarnate Word. And basically, I am, for the time being, there's supposed to be two broadcasters, but for the time being, it's just me. I am basically the lone voice of all of UIW athletics. So in the spring, for example, UIW was one of the programs that postponed football from fall, and they're playing in the spring.
Oh, okay.
So their first football game is February 20th. So in basically 2.5 weeks. So this spring, I'm going to be broadcasting all football games, home men's and women's basketball games, baseball, softball. I'm going to be doing it all, and it's going to be pretty wild, but I'm excited for it. So for the time being, basically, I'm here. I'm in graduate school too, but I don't really care about the graduate school part. I'm just going to broadcast. I didn't come here to play school, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, basically, I'm in this for the spring. I'm just going to broadcast and then kind of see what happens from there and try to continue to move forward in my career. Hope that the pandemic will kind of subside more once we get to the summertime, so that maybe there'll be more sports job openings, but over the summer and the fall. And that's kind of my goal for the time being. But I'm excited to be in San Antonio. It's different. Obviously, I'm from Kansas. I lived in Kansas my whole life. I didn't really know anybody in San Antonio when I moved here, so it's kind of been a whole new experience for me, but it's been fun, and obviously the broadcasting part of it's been fun, so I'm excited to be here.
Are you enjoying the San Antonio food scene? Getting all the good eats, even during the pandemic?
So the reality situation is, when I first got here, the pandemic situation in Texas was actually worse than it was in most of the country at the time. So I've been able to go to a couple different taco places, but I haven't really gone out too much. I've kind of just been trying to stay safe for the most part. But the places that I have gone to, I've enjoyed. There's a wing place in San Antonio called Pluckers. It's like a steak place. They serve their drinks in mason jars. It's like the nice. Texas country place you could think of. I went there. They had wings and stuff, and it was pretty good. But then, I've been enjoying it for the most part, but also I've been trying to mainly just stay safe and not
of course
take too many risks. So
do you still think Cane's is a good chicken place?
Absolutely, Cane's
is
the best.
You haven't learned anything yet. Your taste buds are still maturing. I see.
Bro, Cane's best.
What, Armand? What, you unmuted yourself? You had something to say?
Yeah, I do. Grumpy Pants. Are there any? So yeah, the food scene, fantastic. I want to go to San Antonio one day, eat all the food. But there's also fantastic chains in Texas that aren't here. Have you been touching any of the chain food places like what In-N-Out, right? Whataburger.
I don't actually think San Antonio has In-N-Out, but there is Whataburger.
Oh, okay.
And listen, Whataburger, I think it's good.
I already agree. I know what you're going to say, and I already agree.
That basically, people from Texas highly overrated, but it's good, if that makes sense. So it's good, right? But it's not the holy grail of food that people from Texas make it out to be. It's solid, but it's not any better than other burger places. I don't think it's pretty good though.
I would agree. It was my
okay.
first.
Yes, this dude just said Buc-ee's. Yes, I went to a Buc-ee's and I was it felt like I was on another planet. It was insane.
Raj and Springer, no, they're on the same page. Buc-ee's.
Yes. So Buc-ee's, for people that don't know, Buc-ee's is it's kind of like Quick Trip in Kansas. So it's like a gas station, except it's not gas stations. They build these giant malls basically of just whatever. It's like Quick Trip on steroids times 1,000. It's insane. I don't even know how to describe it. It was incredible, honestly. When I went,
the food selection is endless.
Yes, they've got like a food court in there. It's literally like a whole store. Like you can go and buy like basically anything you want, but it's also a gas station. So it's like this incredible like conglomerate of just insane,
That's insane.
crazy.
They have their own kitchen in there too, like QT
Yeah,
kitchen.
there's like a deli. There's a fucking. I'm telling you, bro, it was the most insane thing I've ever been to in my entire life.
So what are you eating for the Super Bowl then? What's your plans? What are you thinking? Do you mostly cook your meals for the Super Bowl, or are you ordering carry out?
Well, for the Super Bowl last year, I couldn't eat anything, so that was kind of
Of course, yeah.
This year, I would say for the Super Bowl, I'm more of like the snack type of guy, so like chips and dip, keep it simple, don't go too crazy, because for me personally, I understand other people feel differently about this. For me personally, like the Super Bowl is about the game, not about the food. So the food needs to be, modest, and it doesn't need to be over the top. I don't think, just snack stuff. I know.
This is where Terrell would disagree. Terrell goes to like Buffalo Wild Wings and all the like 4 different places in one day. He'll go to McDonald's. He'll order Domino's. He goes all out.
That's interesting. I mean, listen, I would feel that way. Like, if the Chiefs aren't in the Super Bowl, I don't have a problem with that. If the Chiefs aren't in the Super Bowl, whatever. Yeah, I'll go get some crazy food, whatever, right? But if the Chiefs are playing, I'm watching the game. Okay, I don't give a crap about the food. Okay, I'm watching the game. I'm not there for the food, right? So at that point, like I said, the food needs to be just like on the side, modest, chips and dip, little Smokies, maybe nothing too crazy, whatever, right? Just on the side because we're focused on the game, right?
That's right.
You say
if the Chiefs are playing, that's my mentality.
You say snack food. I say finger food. Anything you can eat while watching the TV. If you need a table in front of you, it kind of ruins the experience. And also, I would have disagreed with you, Springer, except our team is in the Super Bowl. Usually, I'm just hoping for a good game, a good environment, a good time, good food, good people. But this is different. The last 2 Super Bowls have been a little different. The last Super Bowl, we were in withdrawal. We were kind of sad about us not making it, right? All right, but then this one, the last one, and this one, just like you said, not that nervous, not as nervous as last time. And Springer also reminded me. He said he was really nervous. He was panicking. Maybe we should run through like different ways to, okay, it's only the first quarter and the Chiefs are down. What's something you can do? Or maybe some breathing techniques, maybe some meditation techniques. I'm not even kidding because we don't want people to have.
No, you run laps around your house.
Hey,
we'll bring Dr. Al on to talk about his workouts that he does.
Last year, I swear to God, guys, last year, before the game, I went in my kitchen. I don't know why I did this. I went in the kitchen and I just laid on the floor, just laid there with my eyes closed, just like breathing basically for like a decent amount of time. I just laid there. And it helped. I mean, it's just a weird thing that I did.
Whatever gets the job done.
Yeah, it was wild. But yeah, I mean, I would say this: if the Chiefs are down, you should be more confident because they play better when they're behind, right? So if the Chiefs are losing, that's just more faith, more confidence for me.
There you go. All right, really quick. Some keys for a Chiefs victory, your prediction, and your Super Bowl MVP.
All right. Well, the keys for the Chiefs victory are going to be protect our guy, Patrick Mahomes. Protect him. Don't let him get hit, which I think is hopefully doable. I think 2, they need to be balanced on offense, though, because the Bucs defense has looked pretty good. They played really well. So I would hope to see, the run game going a little bit. Obviously, I would prefer the Chiefs pass the ball 98% of the time. So,
right.
But I would like to see them, do that a little bit. And then I think defensively, it's just about playing the Chiefs game, which is, bend, don't break, and, don't give up huge plays, basically. And I think if they can do that, like I said, if the Chiefs can just play the game that they've been playing, I think they're going to win. So as long as they do that, I'm confident in the Chiefs. I am going to pick the Chiefs, obviously. I'm not going to sit here and pick the Bucs. Are you kidding me? I'm picking the Chiefs. I'll say final score – I'll say 38-30 Chiefs.
38-30 Chiefs. All right. And your MVP?
Who won it last year? Did Mahomes win it last year?
Yeah, Mahomes did. Youngest to win the MVP and Super Bowl MVP.
I'm picking Travis Kelce to win it this year.
All right, I like that. I like that. So he wins the tight end battle as well too, because that's another storyline. The two of the greatest tight ends.
Yeah. You want to know something I learned this morning?
Of course.
Travis Kelce and Rob Gronkowski are the same age. Isn't that wild?
That's crazy.
They're both 31. They're literally both 31.
That tells you whose body took more of a toll.
Yeah, because on one hand, Gronk, he's like basically at the end of his career. Like he already retired once, right? Yeah. And meanwhile, Travis Kelce is basically still in his prime, right? Like he literally is in his prime. He just had his best season, right? So they're both the same age, and it's just two wildly different trajectories of players.
And Travis has plenty of time to catch up on the rings, and he can get a good start.
Exactly. This thing is like Travis realistically should be able to continue in his prime for the next couple of years, unless next 2 to 3 years, I would say.
He, like you said, he already had his best season of the year. He was up there. He was up there in top 5 receivers. Like,
yeah, exactly.
What else can a tight end do to prove himself that he's more than just a tight end? He's an actual receiver.
Apparently, according to my stats,
what's up?
Gronkowski only has 1 season on Kelce, like 1 more season, but 20 more games. So that when you're saying you can tell his body's felt it. I mean, not only has he played 1 more season, he's played a few more playoff games so far. So,
but you got to keep in mind that Gronkowski, I think, missed the majority of a season or missed a couple seasons with injuries. So he hasn't been able to be fully healthy. Obviously,
this is true. All right, Nick. One big prediction for the offseason this year. Got a lot of headlines. What's one big prediction?
For the Chiefs or just in general?
Just in general, the NFL. Watson moving?
I don't think my prediction is that I think that some of the quarterbacks that there are rumors might move are not going to move. I don't think Watson's going anywhere. I don't think Rodgers is going anywhere. Who else? I guess Phillip Rivers is going to be going somewhere.
Well, Rivers is retired.
No, that's true. Rivers retired.
Yeah, I think you're 50% right, Springer. You said 2 people aren't going anywhere. One of them will be wrong.
Yeah. Oh,
you think?
Who's wrong, Watson or Rodgers? Who's moving?
Wait a second, Armand. Time out. What are you saying?
So you said Watson's not going anywhere.
Yep.
You said Rodgers is not going anywhere. I agree with you on the latter. I think I'm not. I understand the whole logistics of the trading. That Houston is going to wait to get the right offer, and I think that's one. I personally think that's one reason they haven't traded Watson because they don't have an offer. But I think that he wants to leave, so I think they're going to send him. I think that's
want to leave. But think about this for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Stafford, 33-year-old, broken back, broken arm, broken everything. Matt Stafford, okay, just got traded from the Lions to the Rams for 2 first-round picks. Two first-round picks. Okay, so what does that tell you? Deshaun Watson should be worth like 100 first-round picks. Nobody's going to be able to have enough capital to trade for Deshaun Watson, I think, with the exception of the Dolphins. If the Dolphins were to do a swap with Tua and Deshaun Watson, maybe that might work. But there's nobody out there. Deshaun Watson, this is one of the situations where no matter what the Texans get in return for Deshaun Watson, it's not going to be enough because that's how good he is, right? Like no matter what they get, people are going to say, well, they could have gotten more, right? So that's why I think if the Texans are waiting for the quote-unquote like best offer, it's never going to come, and they're not going to be able to trade it. So if they're willing to accept the fact that they're going to be on the losing end of a deal in which they're giving up Watson, then they might trade him, I guess. But
then what's a good offer they can get then? If you're saying they can't get what they want, what's his face? Stafford went for 2 picks. They're saying they want 4 picks. What do you think is the offer they should go with? Or should they keep Watson? Is that the best thing?
If he's unhappy, though, that's bad, obviously. So, I mean, they could keep him, I guess. But I think, for instance, if they were going to do like a swap with the Dolphins for Tua, I think that probably would make the most sense. It would have to be Tua and still at least 2 or 3 first-round picks or like a couple first-round picks and second round. Like it would have to be a lot of picks plus Tua in swapping Deshaun, which I don't know if they would do that, like I said. But I'm just saying like Deshaun is – I don't even know how old he is. He's, obviously still in his prime. He's only been in the league for a couple of years. He's clearly one of the top quarterbacks in terms of talent in the league. And if he goes somewhere that has better management and a decent roster, he's going to be very successful. So he's worth a lot, obviously. And I don't know if anybody, for instance, like, could the Colts make a run at him? Maybe
Mhm.
if they wanted to give up every single draft pick they have for the next 10 years. That's the only offer I would take, right? So, like, but like, think about Deshaun on the Colts. Deshaun on the Colts, I think, makes the Colts probably an instant Super Bowl contender, right?
Of course.
Like, that would put them, I think, within reaching distance of the Chiefs. That would
With
be
that
concerning.
defense and the run game, and with Jonathan Taylor looking really good in his rookie year, they got a run game established now.
Like, the Colts, I think, would at that point become the second behind the Chiefs, and they'd be pretty close to the Chiefs, I would say.
Hey, Nick, before we let you go, you want to hear fun facts? I don't know if you knew this. Your man Ian Eagle just signed an extension with CBS.
Really?
Yes.
Hey, he was doing the Nets Clippers game last night on TNT.
He is the Nets play-by-play guy.
Really? Like,
yes.
their TV guy?
He is their broadcast network TV guy.
How does that work with NFL?
And his son is the Clippers.
Yeah, I know, which is annoying. But anyways.
Oh, you don't like Noah?
Well, I just think it's dumb that he got to go be the voice of the Clippers.
We're just jealous. That's what it is. He's already.
I'm jealous. Yes.
That's very true. When you're Ian Eagle's son.
Okay, but how does Ian Eagle manage to be the voice of the Nets and also still do football?
Because he's Ian Eagle, man. He's just happy to be there. He takes every opportunity he can get. Let's be honest, man. Like, there is no guy on television. I feel like there's no one else on television who is as chipper as Ian Eagle. He's grown on me since our conversation we had our freshman year at Miss E's.
Oh, Ian Eagle.
Where I trashed on him. Yeah, I know. That's when I trashed on him and you said, "What? What? How could you trash on Ian Eagle?"
Yeah, he's fine.
He's fine. He's better. And now they got rid of Dan Fouts as his co-guy.
True. The only guy that I really, really do not like is Kenny Albert. Yes. Kenny Albert, I don't like him at all. I hope he's not watching, but I just really, really, really don't like him at all. I think he's horrible.
Then the NBC crew, NBC should stick to hockey and Fox should stick to NASCAR. That's it.
Sure. Yeah.
There you go. That's right. Did I get that right for the broadcast?
Yeah.
Boom.
No, you did. You did.
All right, Nick. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us on Coffee's On, even though you're drinking water, but I still give you props for hydrating. This man never stops drinking water. You'll never see him without his water bottle. I feel like you keep the same. You're able to keep the same chapstick for how long you've had that same water bottle as too. You've never lost a chapstick.
That's not true. I have lost chapstick.
Okay.
But I usually end up finding it, actually. That's the interesting thing is I'll lose it, and then I'll start another one, and then I'll find the one that I lost. That's usually what actually happens.
You're such a great owner. They don't want to leave you. They come right back. Nick, when's the next Incarnate Ward game? Incarnate
on Wednesday evening, February 10th, so a week from today.
All right, perfect.
It'll be some men's basketball action, but it'll be pretty exciting. But I'll be in Lawrence this weekend, so I'll try to see if I can see you guys. So
that sounds good. Yeah, you text us when you get into town, buddy.
All right.
All right. We'll see you later, Springer. Thanks for coming on.
Sure.
All right, perfect. All right, let's go back to normal mode now.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, hello. Oh.
Hey, how we doing?
I don't think the mic's on yet.
Hey, how we doing?
There's your mic. All right, I think that's good, right? I think we're good. Let's see.
For Coffee's On?
Yep, we're fine. What?
You mean we're good? Do you want to end the show?
No. We're good. No, I mean like we're good audio-wise. No.
Oh, yeah.
Don't plug it into your computer. Plug it in down there. Yeah. Yeah, plug it into your thingy.
Can we make some more coffee?
Yeah, of course. We got to talk about our new coffee maker.
Yeah, we got to talk. Well, Raj just has a lot of questions unanswered and new.
Yes.
That we got to make some coffee and get
but
bring up the coffee
We got to bring up our roommate Terrell, as we all know. He had told us last week that he had ordered us a package for Coffee's On.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know what it was, but
I thought it was a picture.
Yeah, we thought it was something maybe to hang up behind us, like a wall decor. I don't know. Terrell's always surprising us with some gifts. He loves treating us.
Could be anything.
He could be anything. Like we said, he does go to work every day. He is our supplier. He's the reason we have bacon on the table. No, just kidding. But no, he does treat us. He does treat us very well. And so, with that being said, we can just make coffee in the click of an eye, or the click of a, I don't know, in the snap of an eye, because we have a Keurig now.
Oh! Oh. There we go. The
Well, yeah, look at
Keurig.
this
The Keurig.
Keurig and Iron Man. So the combo. Look at that. Terrell Henderson, everybody. Coffee's on. You are our hero. No, that's why we got the mug. We literally got that
Whose
mug.
mug is this, Terrell?
We bought that mug months ago, and now you see. Now we have evidence for why he is our hero.
Now we introduced the Keurig.
He also bought us a bunch of Keurig cups, some random
not
K
just
cups,
a bunch, random cups.
random cups. So Armand, you go ahead and pick one.
And we need to refill our coffee. Is Raj the only one in here?
No.
I already had this one yesterday.
Terrell, the best.
I know about it.
Also, we do know we got to recycle these. We cut off the tops and dump the coffee grounds in the trash, and then
Really?
throw the plastic in the recycling.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, have you not been doing that?
You've been doing that?
Every day.
Every day we usually just started using this. You're making me sound like I hate the environment. This one is Cake Boss.
Cake Boss?
Cake Boss.
That sounds good. This one is...
Sono biscotti. Sono biscotti. Biscotti alla nazzelle. That's what it says.
That's what it says?
Biscotti a nazzette. Biscotti a nazzette.
All of what?
I gotta read that again.
Biscotti
Biscotti alla
Oh.
noisette.
Here comes Raj. Okay, Raj.
My name Raj.
He moved away from his Keurig and went to a French press. What even is a French press?
My name Raj.
Does Raj not? Does he live in France now? What's
He
going
always
on?
thought he did.
Vous assez à Bouddha?
Hey, how much water do we have?
Now this thing looks pretty cool. French press. Wow, all you do is press it. Interesting.
How much water?
We got plenty of water, man. We got plenty. Remember we had a Keurig last year, but Marty took it back with him.
Yeah, it's like
I don't blame him. It's like it was his. Yeah,
So-
French press.
Should we answer some of Raj's questions?
Yes, Raj says please recycle.
I liked that Springer said Kelsey as his MVP
Yeah,
because
that's a good one.
I really like Kelsey as MVP. On the defensive end, though, Raj, and I'll be honest, I'm acting like a big shot. I think there's only like 4 options of who can be MVP on the Chiefs side, and
Yeah.
I think Matthew's part of those. But I think Matthew's a good defensive pick, right?
If a defensive player, we're gonna win it
If
because
you were, and what would he need to do? Pick 6?
no, not maybe 2 interceptions, a forced fumble,
And a pick 6?
maybe an
One of them.
interception, forced fumble, and a couple sacks.
Maybe a pick 6.
But maybe a pick 6.
That wouldn't hurt him.
A pick 6 wouldn't
And
hurt.
then I think he's the MVP. I know some people kind of said that last year maybe Mahomes didn't deserve the MVP. Maybe it was Williams.
Yeah.
I feel like still both played really well. I think this year, I still think Super Bowl MVP goes for the most part to the person who deserves it. And I think if Matthew or someone like Chris Jones or Kelsey, right?
Mhm.
Those are my 3 non-Mahomes. If they deserve it, then they'll get it. I think if Kelsey can have 2 touchdowns, 100-some yards, I think he gets it done.
Raj is asking about courtside Karen.
Courtside Karen. Oh,
I did not hear Stephen A's for reasoning for why the NBA needs her. Did you see his video that he had on his show? That he explains why the NBA needs courtside Karen.
Oh, I didn't see.
Yeah, so he talked about. I hadn't seen the
We
video
saw
yet.
something. Someone was talking about, does the NBA need people at front row at courtside, right?
Yep.
We because that was on. For those who don't know, courtside Karen was what LeBron called on Twitter. I guess this one lady had a little disagreement with King James, and they went back and forth
With our king.
verbally. I guess he said something about his husband, and whatever he said to her, I think he may have put in a cuss word in there. She then put a cuss word in her response, saying, "Don't talk about my husband," and then put a video on Instagram. I think social
Yeah,
media went off, and
Instagram,
then
yeah, and she
and
was
then
she's like, I'm 25. I can't believe you let a 25-year-old get in his head.
she's 25.
So hang on, you didn't see? I thought you saw the Instagram video.
I saw it on Twitter.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know I actually didn't.
I don't-
I saw
well,
the
that-
video.
see,
I
that's what
didn't
people-
watch the video. I saw the video.
And that's what people were kind of making fun of was was she actually 25? Like,
I
why did
hope
she have?
she's not
They like she
25.
had to make sure that she said her age, just to act like say like she owned.
She
the
didn't
mom.
look 25.
I don't know, man.
She
I don't
looked
know.
30 some.
Maybe she was, and just said, and she's trying to look 25.
But anyway, she went on there, and then she actually released a statement and apologized, not to King James, but apologized for using bad words or letting, not thinking through her actions. I don't know, but I wonder why Steve. You know why I think Stephen A. said that? I think that's because that's what we heard yesterday. I forgot which show it was. You remember we were watching yesterday? We started talking about Courtside, and they mentioned Spike Lee.
Yeah, you
Right?
said you wanted to be the Kansas City
Sorry,
version of.
But it was around the horn. I wonder if
Yeah,
that
it
was
around the
why.
horn. Yep.
I think they were kind of saying that, right? These people kind of help move. I don't know what they say. I want to say move the culture, push the culture, but I don't think that's.
Of courtside
Right.
fans.
I just think that's part
But-
of the game. I think that's what they're trying to say. The Spike
But
Lee.
wasn't she like cussing at him and everything?
See,
And
that was the thing. Spike Lee didn't want to act like. I mean, we watched the 30 for 30, right? Spike Lee didn't want to act like he wanted to fight Reggie Miller.
Yeah,
They
no.
just had to. They added
talk
to the
trash.
game.
They just talk trash back to you.
added to the game.
Yeah.
Drake didn't want to fight Steph Curry. They just had a little talk.
Yeah, they smiled and laughed.
Who are others? What's it? Where's Johnny?
Where's Johnny? It's
Jack Nicholson?
It's here's Johnny.
Oh.
Here's Johnny.
Jack Nicholson, right?
Yep.
He doesn't trash talk, but he's a face of courtside.
Yeah, he's a face courtside. Yeah,
Disagree?
each one has no. He is no obviously.
Although
he is.
that stadium has a lot of faces, I know. But
Each one has their own person. Each one has their own personality. Yeah, I just don't. She was like cussing at him though, right? And like,
yeah, so
there's a difference.
there is a difference. That's what I'm going to
There's
say.
a difference. Though also, like in the stadium too, it's kind of emptier now than it usually would be. It's not a packed stadium, but I feel like they'd be able to hear them just as clear.
And I
if
think there
it
should be a
was.
respect expected, especially with a smaller stadium. You now have a right. It's not just a privilege that you can afford these seats. You have a right to not be causing a lot of a big ruckus. All that.
Yeah, there's stuff you got. I feel like there's stuff in the terms and agreement that it touches along those lines. I don't know. I don't read it like anybody does when they're buying tickets online.
That's
The
not-
terms and agreement.
That's not why we love Courtside, like what she did, though. We love Courtside. Those people we mentioned, yeah, those are really famous people. But they aren't totally disrespecting the player.
No,
Or they aren't doing something.
they know how far they can go. They know how far they can push.
They know, and someone pushed too far, whether it was the aggravator, the aggravated, or whoever it was. I don't
The
know.
aggravator.
Did you get some coffee?
The
You're losing
instigator.
your energy.
Losing my energy. I
Raj,
just started.
is Dak going? What's that song? Should I stay or should I go? No.
That's the song.
What's Dak saying? Or
I think he's staying. If anything, doesn't he?
Okay.
Is he, I guess
Dak
he's on.
saying he's staying, or
don't
Cowboys
know.
are saying he's staying?
Let me see. I gotta look it up. Remember, this is a live research show.
Yeah.
Jimmy Johnson said that the Cowboys should have agreed to Dak Prescott's contracts last year.
That's good. He's not the coach anymore, though.
It looks like Dak Prescott's investing $12.5 million in a Plano startup. Shout out Marty, Plano, Texas.
Wow.
That's Plano, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Plano. Boom.
Which, when I went to Plano, Plano's like, you want to say it's the Overland Park of Texas, but maybe Overland Park is the Plano. Because it's like, it was a suburb, I think, but it's big. But now
Did
it's
Marty
so
say
big
that?
that it's a city. It was very, to
Yeah.
me, my first thing was, it's looking like Plano to Dallas is like Overland Park to Kansas City.
Thanks. So they still had to pay him $31 million this year, even after his injury.
I think Dak is really good. Hopefully his injury doesn't hurt him that bad in his career.
I don't know what Dak Prescott's saying. I'm not even sure if he said anything yet. Should he come back to Dallas? I don't think so because of the way they treated the contract situation the previous season. If anything, I'd try to be trying to find a team that wants to commit to him early. not commit to him early, commit to him right on the spot, because that's what he deserves. He's already proved himself as a quarterback. He should have already gotten the contract. The injury was a freak accident that you wouldn't wish upon any player, and it's unfortunate, and it's sad, and it sucks that he didn't get the contract before his injury. But I think that he's come. I feel like you're still getting the same Dak Prescott at the end of the day. At the end of the day, he was a scrambler, but not by nature. That wasn't his first thing. That's not what he's known for. He was known as a pocket passer and being accurate with his throws, and I feel like that you can still get that level of play from him. Sure, we'll see him in practices and in tryouts. I'm sure they're not going to sign him on the spot to a big contract, but I feel like he just needs to go somewhere where he, is a little bit more respected. Danny says he's going to Indy.
Indy.
Danny's thinking Indianapolis. I was thinking 49ers in the back of my head, because right there, that right there, it's money at that point.
Well, you're
not having to give away draft picks.
We talk about where some of these quarterbacks might go, but so the other way around. What are the teams looking for that quarterback? They're looking for that take me to the Super Bowl quarterback. 49ers, Colts. Who else? My question was, who's in the running?
49ers, Colts.
Are those the big
Detroit,
two? Rams traded those. Detroit doesn't care.
Minnesota stuck with Kirk. Matt Ryan looks like he's going to be staying in Atlanta. Chicago possibly looking for one.
Playing the Chicago game. They don't know. No one knows.
No, we won't know until training camp.
So we'll say San Francisco, Indianapolis, Chicago. Maybe Miami's only looking at Watson.
Who knows what the Monday after the Super Bowl will look like, man? There's some quick stuff that can happen. That's when the offseason truly begins.
One of my mom's favorite Super Bowl commercials. She says it was this one. It was a while ago. I don't think I could ever find it. I don't know. Maybe I never looked. But it was Super Bowl, so they're talking about the Monday after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And it's all the players on different teams that didn't make the Super Bowl, and they're singing, "Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you, tomorrow," right? Because the season starts. Why?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, everyone is tied. Everyone's 0-0.
It's back to the day one.
Back to day one. Back to where the Jets are as good as the Chiefs.
According to stats and records, not looking at first glance. Raiders. Yeah, Raiders looking.
The reason I said that is because now I want to look at it that way. Indianapolis, San Francisco, that's one group. The Raiders, the Dolphins, Chicago, that's another group. Right?
Derek Carr is set to make $2.5 million this next year in 2021, but it looks like 2022 is a. Oh, let's see.
You know what the Raiders are trying to do? I saw yesterday. They're trying to trade Carr for 2 first-round picks, so they can give Houston 4 first-round picks. How are you going to trade Derek Carr for 2 first-round picks?
You can't trade Derek Carr for 2 first-round picks. You can't. I understand you're trading a player and not as much contract money to spend. You don't have to give him as much. He's not. It just doesn't make sense.
Who's going to give 2 first-round picks for Derek Carr?
The Chicago Bears?
No.
You just said they would Chicago Bears it.
No.
Seeing what Matt Stafford went for, though, that's why I don't like the Matt Stafford trade, because that sets the standard now for what you can trade for a quarterback. And Raj, I'd imagine Mike Greenberg said that on his show. That's on ESPN Morning. Yeah, Colts do have a bunch of cap space. You are right.
Andrew Luck hasn't played football for 2 years, right? I think he's been out of the game for 2 years.
Yes.
And he's what, 32? Hey, I think Luck was great. Other than him lucking us up, I'll say, in the playoffs.
Don't forget the name Andrew Luck.
Yeah, I think he's great, but I'm big on this. He's been 2 years removed from the league, and he's a early 30-year-old. Is he really the best option you can get? Maybe he is, but maybe he's as good. I don't know. Compare.
Where did Dwayne Haskins just go?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Okay, I'm just thinking back.
But
my
that's
head.
for a project, I think. I
Oh
think
yeah,
that's
that's
to
fine.
see
They
if he
got
can do it.
3 quarterbacks there.
Maybe
behind
see if Tomlin
Roethlisberger.
can get to him. I don't know.
I don't know what Andrew Luck's looking like when he comes back, but yeah, he could. Why not? He wasn't that. He was good. He wasn't that bad when he left. The Colts were a playoff team the season before.
He
He
left
had.
at 29, right? Almost 30, going on 30. I don't even think he hit 30. He left in end of August.
He just walked right off that field, man, during that preseason
Because of
game.
injuries,
31 years old.
He was always a smarter player, right?
Oh,
You
yeah.
could tell he's a Stanford. He made sure to graduate early.
Yep.
And he loved to compliment people when they would sack him. That's one of my favorite highlights I've ever seen, or little things I've ever seen. People sacking Andrew Luck, tackling him, hitting him hard. What'd you say? Hey, good tackle, man. Great tackle. Don't worry, it's just
It's a
football.
reverse psychology.
Was he being nice or was it reverse psychology? I will never know. And then Teddy Bruschi says this: you never, when you're on defense and you're tackling a quarterback, you don't want to hear him say thank you. You want to see him hear him say, the noises I make when I'm getting up. You want to hear him say that as a quarterback.
But is Garoppolo?
So
we were
did the
talking. We were
Rams.
talking about this yesterday. Yeah.
So did the
I'll
Bears.
let you go.
I'm
You know.
sorry.
No,
you
no,
know.
no. Go ahead. No, you know exactly where I was going with it.
Well, I
We talked
think
about it
right.
last night.
You're right. So did you have mentioned this before. There's always that one. So did the Rams, right? What about? Well, we'll turn the time back, Danny. How about great quarterback named Rex Grossman? What happened to him? He took the Bears to a Super Bowl. Who are some other interesting quarterbacks that took the team to a Super Bowl?
And then just like
Garoppolo, Rams guy, top 16 called Goff, right?
Goff,
Nick
Foles. That was crazy. Let's think about this. Nick Foles, Trent Dilfer, but he won the Super
But that's
Bowl.
way back.
That's way back when.
In between Foles and Dilfer, two quarterbacks that won the Super Bowl. In between them.
So let's see. Garoppolo got hurt in the beginning of November, but even before his injury, he was still in his first. Yeah, he missed a lot. He missed a lot of games this year. He only played 6 games this year out of the season. So I understand what Danny's saying, but
I see Danny.
I just don't think how much longer you can go with the guy because
I don't think they love him though, and this is something I talked about. I'd mentioned to Terrell once. I think the NFL's getting in a day and age where you might need a great quarterback to win the Super Bowl. I know we proved us wrong with saying Nick Foles. I mean, although he played well during the playoffs, in this league we have fantastic.
I
great,
remember Ohio State won the
average
championship
quarterback.
with their third string.
Exactly.
Last 3
we
games.
played well, but right, we look at the Super Bowl. Who are the 2 quarterbacks in the Super Bowl? We don't need to name them. We look at the quarterbacks they beat in the conference championship.
Yeah.
Someone up and coming and someone who was looking for the go argument, right?
Yeah.
These are top quarterbacks. These are better than good quarterbacks. Maybe the 49ers see Garoppolo, he's a good quarterback, but is that enough to win them a Super Bowl? That got them to the Super Bowl. And in this season, there was a lot that happened, right? Injuries was just one of them, but they didn't make the playoffs. And I know the injuries actually really hurt them. But they're a good team, and they're seeing what can we do with a great quarterback. Chicago's saying, what can we do with an actual quarterback? Indianapolis saying, what could we do in a great quarterback? Is this conference, is Indianapolis looking at the AFC? That's sure. You just have the big elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And who else? You don't have a whole zoo. You just have one animal.
Yeah, and also, I went in to look at Jimmy Garoppolo's playoff stats because if I remember correctly, let's see, damn Pro Football Reference, stop moving around. Okay, yeah, in the playoffs, he's only started 3 games. When two passing touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So boom, that's what that 49ers team last year was more relied on the defense and the run game rather than in their quarterback. So if anything, their quarterback didn't get into the Super Bowl. The quarterback was just a piece in the plan that got him to the Super Bowl.
Like a Ryan Tannehill.
Like a Ryan Tannehill trying to get to the Super Bowl. So Jimmy Garoppolo is not the future over there in 49ers if they want to hoist a Lombardi.
I think the Super Bowl champion you need to make sure that you can rely on your quarterback win your game. What did we say about Tannehill?
Oh yeah, Danny, Eli Manning, same thing. Defense,
But-
and he was clutch in the moments he needed to be clutch.
But they could rely on Eli, right?
Yeah.
They relied on Nick Foles that playoffs at times.
Yeah.
But they couldn't rely on Rex Grossman. Could they rely on Garoppolo when the defense played well for 3 quarters?
They
for
couldn't.
3.5
He
quarters,
overthrew
then it was
Emmanuel
Garoppolo.
Sanders.
Could Rams rely on where was Goff the whole game? They only scored 3 points.
Yep.
So Eli Manning was average at best, and that might be the greatest Hall of Fame discussion I think ever going forward. He has 2 Super Bowl MVPs, but he was average at best. But in the playoffs, what happened? They could rely on him in the playoffs. So it comes to, can you rely on your quarterback, whether he's average or he is best? Can you rely on Tannehill? Can you rely on Garoppolo? Or would you rather can you rely on Goff? Or would you rather rely on a Stafford, a Watson,
Orion. Yeah, you said it. You
Cowboys
said it.
quarterback.
You said it best right there. You
Or
said
Luck.
it. Yeah, you said it best right there. So there is why there is why the 49ers need a quarterback, because of the team that they have right now, and it's showing what's holding them back.
It's when you decide as a franchise.
Danny, I don't know if you can say that. Also, I don't know if you can say that. Dick. He's not special, but it's. You saw how well the Cowboys' offense was rolling this season with him at quarterback. They didn't have a defense.
They scored a lot of points.
If you get them on the right team, they can succeed. You put him in the position, they can succeed. If he goes on the
Right
49ers,
organization.
they're automatically a top 5 Super Bowl contender for the next year because of the defense that they have and the offensive weapons that they have. That Cowboys team was rolling this year. Rolling.
I thought they would win the division.
They were on. Oh, hell yeah. They would have won the division.
I knew the Eagles weren't going to win.
They just didn't have a defense. Their defense, they were beat up on the defensive side with injuries. He said, what? The Cowboys' offense was rolling. The Cowboys' offense was rolling.
Okay, yeah, check your stats on that.
No, I am. I am going to check my stats.
Let's see. Well, this is why I wish we could pull up a list of starting quarterbacks. I guess we could on the computer. And I want to see, okay, where would we put Dak, right?
Yeah, 9 touchdowns and 4 interceptions in 5 games. They weren't rolling record wise, but the only time they put up less than 30 points was when they scored 17 in week 1 of the season. Week 2, they put up 40. Week 3, they put up 31. Week 4, they put up 38. Week 5, they put up 37. Yeah, their defense sucked in those games. Dak Prescott had worst game was 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and they lost 38-31 to Seattle. Their defense was hurting them. It was hurting them big time. He had a 500-yard game. He had back-to-back 400-yard games. And in that New York game, that's when he got hurt with his injury. Only had 166 yards in that one. So yeah, he can be your Deacon Dunk guy.
In 2019, if people love QBR, I don't know if people do, but Dak Prescott last year was the 4th best quarterback in QBR. Better than Wilson, Stafford, Watson. But Mr. Garoppolo on a Super Bowl team was number 12. Maybe Garoppolo was average at best. Yeah. He's 12. He just sneaks into the top 30.
Where does Stafford rank in the top QBs in NFC West? Yeah, Wilson, Garoppolo, Murray. Put him above Garoppolo at 3.
He's at least 2. I do like Murray, but Murray is young. And I understand Stafford's stats, but maybe we're gonna. And I don't know how much better the Rams are. The Rams are 2-53 than the Lions are 2-53, but
no.
Maybe let's see if he can work with weapons, and then he'll be able to say that argument if Stafford really was something, or if he just needed, or if he was overrated. And we'll see. But I think Stafford can be 2. I still think Wilson's 1. But granted, Stafford is. I mean, he did have Calvin Johnson, right? Man, forgot about him.
Dak don't have the it factor to put a team on his back. We'll see.
Really?
Yeah, he's right. No, I see what he's saying. Yeah, he's saying that if you don't put the weapons around Dak, he won't be able to do the same thing that he has done offensively. Maybe we'll see.
Now I would be careful.
Yeah, he doesn't have that it factor, but still he can He's still better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
I would be careful if you phrase that question as he doesn't have the it factor like Mahomes. I don't think you compare
Anyone.
yourself to getting an it factor like Mahomes. We've talked about that. That's a once in a till you prove me wrong type of play.
He was setting the standard. He set the bar high for young quarterbacks now coming in the NFL. I shouldn't say he set the bar high. I shouldn't say that, but the season that he
set
put
the
up.
ceiling
Until we see a season like that again.
in
Can
that
you
early.
make the comparison?
Till we see that mature of a quarterback on and off the field that early.
Yes. What?
Nothing. I thought you were shutting me up.
No, I was like, thumbs up. I was like, yeah, that's good.
Okay.
No, thumbs up. Since when does a thumbs up mean
I'm
shut
sorry.
up?
You know, one of my favorite things about broadcasting, when we would broadcast and like you're talking, it's like we're talking the radio, but I'm really anything. If it was us broadcasting the KUK State game, right? Over a year ago.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking, I'm just nodding. It's like you're talking to me, even though we're talking to the radio. I'm like, oh yeah, good point. I just love nodding to everything.
You just
the
love
other person-
nodding.
I love, Like, look, what's Danny saying? You can read Danny's comments and I'll nod, even if I don't. He had the weapon. He had a better running back and O-line. Yeah. I'm kind of crazy. I know.
Yeah,
I'm
you're on
sorry.
your coffee right now. You're probably ready for lunch, aren't you?
Not yet. I still got an hour.
Still got
11:07. He had the weapons. He had a better running back and O-line.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, Dak doesn't have the Mahomes factor. I don't think many do.
Yeah, you can't.
I don't think many do. But until, like we said, someone does, I'm not really looking for someone to have that because I think that's too hard to find. Rather, maybe I don't know.
No one
Look
has
at the
that.
other
No one has that it factor because no one had the same childhood as Patrick Mahomes in the sense of look where he got to spend his time. Look who he was surrounded by.
That will be an argument that'll probably, we hope, can be a long argument.
If there's one thing that paid off for Patrick Mahomes Sr. and Patrick Mahomes Jr., it's that
Oh shoot!
you won't regret having your son in all that time they spend in the locker room. You'll never regret that because you saw how that shaped him and shaped his mind. Because once again, Armand, who comes out the winner? The one with the stronger mind or the one with the stronger physique?
Well, the one who writes the book.
The one who writes the book? I don't know. What's the saying? I don't know. Something about
The victor writes the history. What?
No. Remember, like an athlete with a stronger mind or a better mindset is the one who succeeds.
I like that quote. Marco Marquez,
I don't know if it's a
2021.
quote. I don't know if it's a quote.
I said the difference between a good and great player is what happens in here. It's
Thought-
what happens when you don't see it.
Exercise that mind, open a book.
Thoughts on the weekend?
I'm excited. I'm pumped, Raj. I'm so pumped.
Spending $7 million.
No, that right there gets me excited for.
Yeah,
you.
it's going to be a great performance. History is written by the victors. You know, the first time I heard that, our friend Abhishek at the pizza place, and then your mom said that too.
What's that?
History is written by the victors.
Sam's excited for the weekend concert in Kansas City. I'm excited for the halftime show. I'm excited for the national anthem. I'm excited for the poet.
I am too. I'm excited for the whole performance that is the Super Bowl.
I'm ready.
Front to end.
You're right.
Front to end. You're right. The national anthem will be really good.
Yeah.
It'll be a pretty national anthem.
And especially in a season where, you have to focus more on the virtual since not a lot of people are going to be at the game, It's going to be the entertainment part of it. I'm not too worried. Production and everything. I'm excited. CBS. We got the professional. Commercials. Super Bowl commercials.
Danny makes a point.
Uh-oh. I think my phone died.
No, the Wi-Fi went off. Why?
Uh,
That's never happened to your computer, has it? It always happens to mine. It never happens to yours.
Oh.
I always wondered why. You just.
Oh, there we go. Boom. I was wondering why Twitter wasn't loading. That makes sense.
Danny said Watson's the most talented quarterback not named Mahomes.
Guys, I'm not getting into this conversation, man. What okay. So Watson goes to 49ers then? Ryan Tannehill's the most talented quarterback, not named Mahomes. No, he's not. I know that's not true. Who's the most talented out of the youngsters? Herbert, Burrow? I don't know.
We don't know because Burrow had half a season.
Exactly. We don't know. Okay, Watson's the most talented quarterback,
See,
not named
Mahomes kind of made us think that you played 3 years in the league and you already have to be in discussion.
Yeah.
Watson's only played 3 years in the league. It took Manning a few years. I think it took him 7 years to go to the Super Bowl. Not everyone's like Brady or Mahomes. And then the people who play with them in that era, they're going to be judged the same. People were judged on a Brady baseline. People were judged on a Montana baseline. And people are judged on a Mahomes baseline. The difference for us is this time it's our quarterback.
Do we need Danny to hop on?
Right
The tech savvy guy. Do we need him to hop on? Because I am not understanding what he's saying with these words that he's typing.
The tech savvy guy.
Tech savvy guy.
No, he didn't have too much problems last time.
No, he did not. No, he actually called me. I got off work before the show. But now he's in the comments. Now he's in the comments. He's stuck on the quarterback conversation still. He's stuck with Prescott not having the it factor and Watson being the second best quarterback.
How are you feeling about Herbert? I called him Herbert.
But you know what, Watson. I do agree with him now on Watson being the second most talented because of his ability to escape the pocket and beat the sacks.
I think he's pretty good. He just needs weapons. He's been able to
Needs an offensive
create
line
on himself. Herbert. Sam likes the probably offensive player of the year, rookie offensive player of the year.
Why
big,
not?
Big Herbert guy, Sam. J.
Big
Herb, your
Herb.
quarterback.
He said big Herbert guy, big weekend guy.
Big Herbert guy. Wait, really? He said that?
No,
good.
He's ready for the concert. But no, the weekend spending $7 million on his own production though. I can't stop thinking about that.
I think
It's gonna be a great
He
show.
wants to make this.
They
A
need to do the
great
cannons. I know they
Super
said
Bowl
Tampa
halftime
can't
show.
do the cannons, but do the damn cannons.
Just because you can't, they said they can't do it for Tampa, but you're right. Just do it for everyone.
Just
Do it for the weekend halftime show after every song.
Will he be wearing his cosmetics though? The plastic that he wore in
Whatever
the videos.
team named Indy, Chicago, San Fran, or the Raiders should give what they need to give.
to get him.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But what if they don't? What if they can't get him? What if they can't get him? And that's what we're talking about. The what if they can't get him?
Well, that's kind of
Because we know what they have to give to get him. They got to give away draft picks and a player or two.
that's kind of what Springer said, right?
Yeah.
Springer's like where was I going with this?
What was Springer saying? Springer was saying about Chicago, Indy, San Fran Raiders, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I don't know where my mind went. I'm so sorry.
That's all
I
right.
don't know why I said Springer.
The caffeine wiped it away. Sam's taking the under for the football game.
Good.
I don't
Sam's
know.
back in the betting game.
I don't know, Sam. Chiefs put up 21 and a quarter and held back. Yeah, we know, Danny. They are QBs away from being serious, legitimate contenders. We know. But we're saying if they can't get Watson, how could they still be legit contenders?
That's what Springer said, right? Who's going to want to give Houston what they want? Which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And we certainly agree.
But he said that's why Houston's staying because he doesn't think anyone's going to give Houston what they wanted, and that's why we went on the conversation.
But I feel like Watson's going to not let that happen. I think Watson was going to say, "You've wasted me, and there's another guy who went 2 picks before me, and he's
terrible."
No, Watson was 12, I thought, and Mahomes was 10.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Mahomes
thinking of
wrong.
Trubisky.
But he's saying, "Look at that guy, played the same years as me. Why aren't you doing what that team did?"
Yeah.
We both made the playoffs. We were up 24-0. What's going on?
You should be his consultor.
And he has a good agent because someone was tweeting what his agent was saying, and then his agent tweeted, as a source close to whatever the agent's name is, as a source very close, I can assure you that none of these comments are correct.
Nah.
Yeah, quarterbacks away from being serious legitimate. And
They
you're
are.
correct.
They are.
You're right.
Because
What are they going to do? I mean, I don't know. Raiders will prove me wrong when they do. I've always said that about the Raiders. We've said that the Raiders are the Raiders. But we'll see if they're willing to do that. If Indy, Chicago, San Fran is, and I think San Fran's willing.
Hey.
I think San Fran wants to.
Cleveland's also a quarterback away. Pittsburgh's also a quarterback away. Oh man.
I don't know. A quarterback away, I think we also have to do this. In the end, I know everyone's goal is to win the Super Bowl, but in the end, what's everyone's realistic goal? If you're trying to win the Super Bowl, then you're trying to get a Deshaun Watson, maybe a Dak Prescott.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just trying to make the playoffs, because remember, our expectations didn't turn by a year. As Chiefs fans, our expectations moved up levels over the course of
It changed.
15
It
years.
changed each. It changed by each head coach and quarterback combination.
So these teams, these franchises, they aren't trying to go from bottom to top. They got to see if they're really trying to win that Super Bowl, then you give those 4 first-round picks for that quarterback. But if you're just trying to be good, then you're fine with Baker. If you haven't been good for 20 years,
Right.
you're fine. Although I think Josh Allen is pretty good. Springer didn't think Josh Allen was good, so for him, I'd say you're fine with Josh Allen. Right, you're the Bills. The Raiders, for some reason, want to get back in the Super Bowl because they haven't been since 2002, 2003. I don't know. You've been tired for the last 30 minutes. What's up?
I've been tired. I've just been. I was thinking.
How's your coffee?
It was good.
This is some good coffee. I didn't put any milk.
My what was it called? It was called the
Mine was Cake Boss.
Eco Cups Just Better Dark Organic Fair Trade Coffee. Look at that Keurig, man. It
Oh
makes
yeah,
life-
we have some of those.
and that's great because I missed the Keurig so much from last year when we switched to coffee. I'm looking at that line for 56 that Sam put, just thinking, just really decides what Brady's one good half looks like. That's what. Look, Danny's like exactly. Boom. He said boom. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thinking what he was thinking.
Sorry, Danny. I have a tendency of just saying 100 words too much. But yes.
But the right thing.
But the right thing. Somewhere in there, and Danny got it.
Oh man.
No. Giltner Creative says you need more coffee.
I know. I need more caffeine.
And then
here comes Nico storming
Our
in.
favorite airman has flew in the building.
Has flew in.
I said flew in.
Flew in.
Flew in. What is
Flown
it?
in. I thought it was flown in. Has flown in the
flown
building.
in the
Has
building.
flew in the building.
Maybe it is flown in.
Flown in.
He has flown.
He has flown.
You're right. It's not he has flew.
No, not flew in. He's flown in.
Sorry. It's hard when you learn 2 languages and it's just.
No, I
And you
understand.
don't learn either perfectly,
No.
so you're stuck like this.
You learn them Persianly.
You learn. That's how I learned. That's why some of the things I say are different. You know what word I can't say? Eat. I bet I
Ethernet?
can say no. Eaten. I've eaten. Eaten.
You've eaten?
Oh,
Or you
I can
ate?
say it. Look, I can say it now. I've eaten.
Or you ate? I
Eaten.
ate?
Eaten. I've eaten.
Ethan?
No, not Ethan. For a while, my dad would say Eaton. We had to get him to say the TH.
Because says just share some good lives, so even gooder guys.
Nico, well, I hope whatever you're drinking, it's good, but you better not be drinking coffee because you need to hydrate. That's what I'll tell you. You need some water.
Yeah, after the field. Get some more, get water in for the field.
Good thing for you, there's water and coffee. You said you're stuck on that over?
Under the line, 56
and a half?
because
No,
like I
you're
said, it
stuck
relies
that
on
line?
what the Buccaneers half looks like, and I'm just thinking, what if?
Well,
Just very curious to see if Chiefs secondary will be fine. They'll step up. In my head, I'm picturing the perfect game where the Chiefs take
where the
advantage
Chiefs'
of that.
offense and defense finally shows up together
Together,
perfectly for the first time this season.
like in game where they all just show up fine, and it's like it all looks beautiful because it's all coming together and both sides of the football are clicking, and Brady is getting sacked by Chris Jones and Frank Clark, and he's throwing balls when he's getting hit, and they're getting loosed up in the air, and
2 pick sixes.
not 2 pick sixes, but definitely
McCall
like
Hardman does
def-
fair catches.
definitely like three interceptions in this game, because in my head I'm picturing a lot of pressure, maybe not sacks, but a lot of QB hits and opportunities where the ball just gets up there. Do they fall into the Bruce Arians pick of throwing downfield and not playing the safe dink and dunk? Does the Chiefs offense come out and score on a 5-play opening drive or something, or 5-play first drive, and immediately puts the pressure on the Buccaneers? Like, that's what I'm thinking in my head. Like 56, like that's such a good line by Vegas because it could go the under where both defenses show up and the offensive line,
Because I'm thinking Tampa
Yeah.
Bay, how many points do they score? I'm thinking somewhere in the 20 to 30 range.
yeah.
And then I think on the other end, how many will Kansas City score? And if I think they're going to win, it'll be a little more. But is that enough to?
And Danny's right.
Put it
Mahomes
above.
needs to help out his line in this one when he's drifting out because people keep talking about the offensive line. In my head, I'm thinking, all right, at least Mahomes is great when going up against the blitz. But then again, they could do
That'll be the
coverage.
Achilles heel.
They could try to force coverage sacks. Like this offensive line really is the kicker in this game because. Excuse me, sorry. We'll click on that link. The offensive line is really the kicker in this game because Mahomes is great under the blitz, but you're going to be able to need to protect him just long enough to where someone can get open in his own coverage.
And on the other end,
Man blitz, I'm not nervous at all because how well, but I don't know. I know the Buccaneers are not going to come out the same way defensively that they did last year. But prop bets, Armand, you were looking at prop bets yesterday, but I'm going to pull up. Bobby Lacey is back in the chat.
I have, but I don't think you should listen to me. But here's some that I liked: Raj and company,
How will Brady be in the
and
first
Bobby
quarter?
Bobcat Lacey. I think that's an article about Brady's first quarter. Here are just some that stuck out to me. I don't have the odds, but I listed them, right? A successful 2-point was plus 2 something, 240, 280.
Yeah.
Will a 2-point happen? I mean, I would think it will, but I think everyone always says this. Vegas knows something.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a
That's what I'm
reason.
saying. That 56. It's
How
just-
many times I saw this? One of my friends sent me. How many times will kindergarten be mentioned in the broadcast? Over under half. It's plus 500 for it to be mentioned.
What?
Kindergarten.
Just the word kindergarten?
Do you know why I think so? Because I think Mahomes was in kindergarten when Brady had his first Super Bowl.
So it has to be plus 500
Yeah.
mentioned in first half.
No, mention at all.
Oh, mentioned at all.
In case you put 10, you'd get $50.
I'm really, you keep reading the prop
Sorry.
bets. I'm reading the article that Bobby sent.
Gronk having a touchdown. I think that was plus. That was kind of weird. That was like plus 120. Mahomes a rushing touchdown. They don't think that's going to happen. Plus 200. Plus 2 something. I'm sorry. Mahomes first quarter passing touchdown. They also don't think that's going to happen. I don't remember the odds on that. Plus 160. But I think the rest of the quarters for him to have a passing touchdown was in the minus.
Gotcha.
A Hale first half touchdown again in the 200s. Longest touchdown over under 45 and a half. I like the over, but I don't know about that. Third quarter, the
I like
highest
that.
scoring. I like that because that's plus 4 something.
Yeah.
And then time for our MVPs. I think everyone knows it's usually a quarterback. It's been a quarterback 30 times.
What's that?
No, Danny, then we won't remember the Super Bowl. Come on.
Oh, my goodness.
GOAT. That's a lot of shots.
That's a lot of
That's
shots.
anywhere from 5 to
You could
20
take back-to-back
shots.
shots.
I don't know. We got the GOAT and
So-
GOAT here.
This article that Bobby Lacey sent, I
Bobby Bobcat
appreciate you sending the Bobby Bobcat Lacey.
Oh, Bobcat Lacey.
I appreciate you sending the article. I love the first line. You like this too, as an analytics guy. This is how the article starts. Tom Brady is the only NFL player with a reasonable sample size of Super Bowls to study. That right there is the most GOAT sentence ever. Frank Schwab, Yahoo Sports, my man, opening up the article with one of the greatest sentences I think I've ever read in a sports article. Tom Brady is the only NFL player with a reasonable sample size of Super Bowls to study. Put that on your refrigerator, Tom.
Well, what else
Dang.
is that?
All right, so anyway, so it talks about Brady's first quarter history in Super Bowls is weird.
Why?
And that's what he's quote, because Brady has never had a touchdown drive in the first quarter of 9 of his Super Bowls. So in the first quarter of 9 of his Super Bowls, so 9 quarters, never led a touchdown drive. Here's what the scores were of those Super Bowls
In the first quarter.
in the first quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, the Patriots have only scored once, and that was Super Bowl 52 against the Eagles. They were down 9-3 at the end of the first quarter. Other than that, the Patriots have never scored. Or excuse
That's
me,
the first time I
every
bet.
team, every Super Bowl Tom Brady's been to, his team has never scored in the first quarter. The Chiefs put up 21 points in the first quarter when they played the Bucks. So I see why Bobby sent that in. Imagine that the Chiefs can get up. The first quarter is the time you take advantage on Tom Brady. If you're doing your homework, obviously Bobby has. We need to email that. We need to spam the Chiefs assistant's email. So yeah, Sam, the article, it says take the Chiefs in the under if you're a betting man in this game.
Really?
It said take the Chiefs in the under if you're a betting man in this game. So yeah.
Well, Sam said he's looking to get back in the game.
There you go. So yeah, that's a big one right there, Bobby. Appreciate you sending in the article for that, because that's huge. That's all. We talk about setting the tone for the Super Bowl. You can make the argument this is the best offense that Brady is going to go against in a Super Bowl, and that includes the Rams team from the early 2000s. Because looking back at this, that includes the Eagles team with Terrell Owens. They were tied at the end of the first quarter, 0-0. Wow. So
Wow, what a Super Bowl. Logan said something about
also Gronk is plus 240 to score a touchdown in this game. I say you take it because Brady is going to make sure his tight end eats in the matchup of what is the greatest tight ends in NFL history.
We talked about this yesterday. What was Gronk's best game this season? It was against the Chiefs. He had over 100 yards, I think the only time this season. Okay.
I like that.
You're right, manifesting. We're in a time of manifestation, huh? Should we look at the stars during this? Should we see where the moon's at, if it's in Aquarius or not?
I still stay true my Eagles colors, Nico. That's the NFC team. That was Andy Reid, baby. Of course I was an Eagles fan back in the day.
But Logan, back in the comments, had mentioned something.
Yeah.
Massive sleeper for MVP. We've seen 30 times in the last 54 Super Bowls.
Yep.
Sorry, for Super Bowl MVP.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a quarterback. It is usually a quarterback. And this time you have the two, who are they saying, the GOAT quarterback. So it's probably going to be a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Well, what if it's not? Who do we have? Logan says he has Snead. The Jerry Snead, huh?
I like it because that's a guy. If we're talking about someone who's going to sack the quarterback and possibly get an interception in this game, he might make some game-changing plays. A big 2nd and 5 play, and L'Jarius Sneed comes in on a design blitz and forces the Buccaneers like a 3rd and 13. I'm thinking that kind of plays. He's gonna have to make make those kind of plays where he makes the big stops.
Sam, you missed it. 5 minutes ago, we went through our props. Where were you? Marco, you still want? Oh, that's sorry.
Nico, I have a Mac. Remember?
But this is what I want to say about MVP. I think these are the obvious non-quarterbacks, so I'm not that cool. Because I'm just giving you the whole list, and I tend to do that. Damn, you missed it. It was in between your comments. You came in, you said I'm in here, so I talked about props, and then you came back in. I'm sorry.
We'll do it again Friday.
Yeah, we'll do it again Friday, or you can go back in the video. People know you can go back, but what I am trying to say, half of Brady's Super Bowls, he was not MVP. I think you're right, too. There was Deion Branch. There was Edelman. So that's 2. And I think those are the 2. But Kelsey, why not Kelsey? He's plus 900 for Super Bowl MVP. Let's say he has 2 touchdowns, 130 yards. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
But on the defensive end, when I was watching that Pro Bowl show on ESPN, Chris Jones, huh? That could be good. He gets a couple sacks. He doesn't like Brady, right? He has some hair. There will be some trash talking.
Of course.
And on Snead's end, right?
You think Jason Pierre-Paul will get a hand on Mahomes?
Gets us back to the tackles. I think that's... Oh, I see where you're jumping. I think that's as much on Nine Finger Paul as that is on our tackles.
Thought it was 7.
I don't know how many fingers he has, but one of the greatest tweets. Everyone didn't want to sign him after that accident. What did he say? I don't remember my finger ever getting a sack. That's a good joke. I think he's still really good.
Think he's gonna set off any fireworks this game?
He's full of jokes. I don't know if he'll be pointing fingers at you, but Brady threw for over 500 yards. You're right. He threw a lot. But what did you say, Danny? This wise man once told us last week, Brady has one good half in him.
Yeah, a wise man once said.
A wise man
An
with
elder.
a little less hair than us once said.
Looks like he's 30, but he's really 50.
Yeah. Jason Pierre-Paul would point the fingers on you on that one. But comes this by throwing his last touchdown to Pringle.
Wow.
Yeah, he'll pass it to Pringle if Pringle can run forward. If he can run forward. Because what does Pringle love to do?
Run backwards.
Run. You don't believe me, huh? Well, we just got to watch it. You know I'm right.
We could
though.
watch Byron Pringle.
You know I'm right.
I know you're right. There's a lot of Chiefs wide receivers on this team that like to
We
jump
love
backwards.
to run. Do we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are your non-Super Bowl, non-quarterback MVPs? I didn't really talk on the defensive, on the Tampa Bay end. I feel like if it's not Brady, there could always be a receiver. And you mentioned Fournette.
I think
You don't
everyone.
think-
I think everyone
Is
is up for a Super Bowl MVP.
This
everyone
guy,
has a chance.
this guy was losing some energy, and then Sean Miller.
What did he put up there? What's he?
No, Sam thinks Sean Miller's gonna win MVP. We should give him a call.
I'll give him a call. We'll let him know. Hey man, you won the Super Bowl MVP. You get
Yeah.
a truck. I thought that's always the funniest thing. Why did they get a car, man? That
I remember Joe Flacco got a car. He was so shocked.
the MVP should like be someone who who deserves the car more than the award itself. Like, give it to someone who needs a car.
Maybe they
Does any
donate the
NFL
car.
player really need a car?
It used to be a Cadillac.
Yeah, Nico, I thought Damian Williams should have been a pick last year. If you know what, knowing Mahomes, he'll do the best. He'll do the ultimate teammate move and be like, "Hey, no, don't give it to me. Give it to like this. Give it to someone else."
But I mean, again, I think
I would
think
like-
they're yeah.
Worse? Who's worse? Why is this?
offensive lineman.
So Sam's saying the
Tristan
Buccaneers
Wirfs,
are going
right?
to win?
Sam, you think the Buccaneers are going to win? What's your prediction?
O-line needs love too.
Has O-line ever won a Super Bowl MVP? I already know the answer.
Probably yet no. Yeah.
I don't think they've ever won MVP. Kicker has won MVP once before.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. You know, Sam Ficarota, our Tampa Bay guy, I'm going to talk about what he said. We'll talk about on Friday what he said about the Buccaneers. He said it's going to be windy down there in Tampa.
windy, huh?
Kicks may come into play.
Oh, no. Nothing we hate more than a nervous kick.
No, he said Super
But-
Bowl's MVPs.
I'm waiting for... Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about Bucks MVPs. I did ask what your...
What about Le'Veon Bell? What
what
if he
your
shows up in
prediction
this
is.
game? He's been waiting. He came to the Chiefs so we can get to this game.
He did. He needed a ring on a finger. Pierre-Paul finger.
Huh. You're too funny, man.
I love predictions. So if anyone wants to give their predictions, I'll write it on the whiteboard. Come Super Bowl, we'll organize it better. Tampa's breezy. No, it's not. Drew's not there.
What?
Nothing.
You kill me, man.
Springer said 38-30, and he picked Kelsey as his MVP.
Man, I'm telling you, Sam, Chiefs O-line should not make you as nervous because, once again, Mahomes is great. If they can just give him enough, like 3 seconds, man. Give them 3 seconds. The Chiefs
lot
know
of
that they're going to have to focus their offense around an offensive line with some backups in.
The only thing,
Oh, Rogan, all right.
Watkins over 37.5. You heard it from our insider here.
No, Logan, please share
Logan,
more. We didn't
huh?
even touch on that one.
Yeah. No, I mean, we said him. Andy Reid is going to unleash the Arsenal. I'm thinking Tottenham. They're going to unleash them. Maybe Everton.
No fans will run on the field, Nico. Only you. Only
I'm
you.
sure that's a line over under fan running on the field. But that's got to be. There's got to be.
Length
no
of the
way.
national anthem? I think it'll go long because if her brings out of her guitar, I'm sure she'll do a solo. You know.
Dun-dun-dun,
I'm curious. Will she do piano? Will she do guitar? Will
I'm
she do
curious.
a
Is she
different
gonna
instrument?
add like a little spice to it? Is she gonna add?
Everyone
something?
has their own spice.
I know,
to
but
it.
is there gonna be something we don't usually see with national anthems?
Like paprika. Danny says, "Good bet for Watkins."
I
He
like
might
that
get
too.
over
I
on
think
one next.
Watkins is really itching for a big play because there's been things if they want him to play in the Super Bowl.
I need him to have an itch to play because he hasn't played all year, and they're already talking about re-signing him. How much do you pay a guy that
Well,
still
maybe
plays
he
in 2
can
or
prove
3
us
games
wrong.
a year? Okay, so yeah, boom. Logan read my mind before I even said it.
Yeah.
He knew.
And here,
Where are y'all seeing these bets?
and here, Nico. I'm like Vision. Is that a good? Do I want to
Yeah.
be like
Yeah,
Vision?
you want to be like Vision. That's good.
Hey.
Where are you at?
I don't like the Armand cam. I know Nico does, but
Shiver me timbers.
what's been
Been
bad?
really been resonating with me.
What has been?
Not true in Sam's comment.
I
What are you
know.
looking at? Prop bets again?
No, not
Oh.
right now. I didn't look. Text me a link. I'm trying to see. I can't text you a link to my
I'm
brain.
trying
You're
to
not the
see
first one
something.
to ask.
He said, "I'm trying to see something."
Really?
Look, Raj has an answer for everything. This guy is full. I'm taking him to trivia night.
Yeah. He knows his Wait, you want to have trivia right now? Did I hear trivia? Do we want trivia?
Yeah, sure. I don't know how much battery my phone has left, but go.
Well, I don't know what. Okay, we're talking Super Bowl. Who is the? This is an easy question. Someone's gonna know this, and
Okay.
you already know. Who is the last non-quarterback to win Super Bowl MVP? Easy.
Armand Al Husseini. He was the first non-NFL player to win Super Bowl MVP.
We'll see because this lags. We'll see who's the first one to comment. That's who wins. Sam's thinking. Sam said
Samuel Valdez. Easy. I don't know. I don't think that's it. Not
I
so
don't know.
easy, huh? Whoa!
Ah! Danny's right.
Edelman?
Yeah,
Julian?
Danny.
That was a trick question.
You're lucky this isn't the spelling bee. But yeah, it was Julian Edelman. It was Julian Edelman.
Vaughn did win though, but he wasn't. So
Vaughn
wait, who
did
did he
win.
Edelman?
Malcolm Smith won 1 year. Vaughn won like
The
a couple
yeah,
years
the 50,
later,
Super Bowl
right?
50, yeah.
But then Edelman won a couple years ago in the most boring Super Bowl ever, 13-3.
Because he caught the
That-
only touchdown pass.
I think like that was a Super Bowl that who are you going to give it to? Because who deserved it?
Julian Edelman, the only guy who scored a touchdown. That's pretty good. That was a good trick question because I'm thinking like the 90s. I forget
I
about
once
Vaughn.
was asked this at no, that's not good. I'm trying to think of Super Bowl trivia, huh? But everyone here should know the Super Bowls, right? So we got to go behind. the
What,
Super
like
Bowl.
which number Super Bowl are we at? Which Super Bowl is being played on Sunday? Is it Super Bowl 42, Super Bowl 67, or Super Bowl 55? How about what is the most iconic Super Bowl moment? Not a trivia question, but an opinion.
Okay, Bobby Bobcat Lacey. What?
If the Rams would have won, the Rams punter had.
It's tied,
glad-
Sam. I believe
glad
it
you
is
remember.
tied, right?
Oh, it is tied, yes.
27-27?
Yes.
Isn't that what you
Yeah,
told me?
Yep, 27-27. Bleacher Report tweeted that out. He's a trick question. This guy's full of. He's had his coffee today.
He has.
Dang. I just got really craved
Doesn't-
Popeyes for lunch.
Yeah, I was thinking of Popeyes, but it's going to. Oh, here. Who was the last? When was the last time a wild card team won the Super Bowl? Quick, before thinking. I think I have my guess. I think that one's right. Yeah, I'm going with it. I wrote it down.
Ravens? Okay, Mr.
That's my
Jeopardy.
answer.
Jan-
Okay, Sam. Okay. Sam says the Ravens.
Gilton, the creative. He's a funny guy. Look at that. Janet Jackson and
Danny
Nip
said
Slip.
the Raiders. You guys are both wrong. Ravens were a 4 seed that year, and Raiders, Danny, we're not that old. There's been someone since then. Ravens were a 4 seed, correct? We're looking for a 5 or 6 seed. Santonio Holmes, he was on a 2 seed that beat a 4 seed. A 4 versus 6 conference championship game.
Oh, here we go. Dirty Dan Sorensen going to win MVP. Someone's.
I'm still waiting for, I know only 3 people. Eagles. No, Eagles were a 1 seed, actually. Although they didn't have Carson Wentz those last 3 games, I'm pretty sure they were a 1 seed in that playoffs. In fact, Carson Wentz probably could have
That was
won
the Giants?
MVP. Would you say?
The Giants. New York Giants.
The who?
New York Giants.
The New York Giants. I believe you're correct unless they were a 4 seed.
Sam's got one.
I think it is. Packers was my guess on my hand. Not gonna lie, I wrote GB.
On your.
But no, they were. It wasn't Giants.
Hmm.
So I think we were right. After Raj and Sam, you guys were wrong with your first guesses, so you're not as cool as I am. But you're almost there. The correct answer was the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, 2010.
They were a 5 seed, I believe.
Hmm.
A 5 seed.
Look at that.
A 5 seed, I believe.
The 5th seed in the Super Bowl. Last team to win it.
The Packers. Let's go with other trivia. See, these Super Bowl stuff, I'm making easy questions that I already know the answer in my head.
You're making up the trivia on the fly as you're researching stats
Yeah.
or information? Okay.
Is that okay?
I don't care.
Well, aren't these good questions so
they
far?
are. No, they are. No. I just thought I
That
just
was
saw
an
them.
all-time moment. That was an all-time moment, Raj.
Yes, James Harrison's. Needed oxygen after that play.
He did.
He needed some oxygen after
Him
that
and
one.
Kurt Warner talked about it at the Pro Bowl. That was a crazy play. Oh, goodness. That's what Nico said
I don't think that's the right answer to the trivia question.
when that happened. What's some other trivia?
Danny asked who has more Super Bowls, Tom Brady, or more Super Bowl appearances, Tom Brady or Don Shula, Gibbs, and Chuck Bill combined.
And Chuck, Bill? Who'd you say? Say that questions again.
Don Shula,
I'll
Gibbs.
tell you this, Danny, without
Shula,
looking.
Gibbs.
Tom Brady, Peyton
Bill.
Manning.
Huh? Tom Brady, Peyton Manning.
Kurt Warner.
I think that's what. Yeah.
That is correct.
Which stadium has hosted the most Super Bowl games?
Is it Miami?
Ooh.
Is it Miami? I didn't know there's 3 besides Tom. And I
Did the
said
Dolphins play at the Orange Bowl before their new stadium?
the Dolphins played the Orange Bowl. I feel like they did.
I got it. Sam says Arizona.
Stadium. Nico, are you saying stadium or city state? Because I said Miami. Sam said Arizona stadium. Stadiums, right? I think both are pretty good answers. But if you're saying actual stadium, then we'd have to say Orange Bowl or not, right? Is it the Glendale, whatever? One more quarterback. I don't know the other quarterback who's been.
So
in 2.
here's the top 5: Phoenix at 3, Tampa Bay at 4, Los Angeles at 7, New Orleans at 10, and this one is at 10 and this one is at 10, but it's going to host an 11th.
Indianapolis,
No,
Dallas.
no,
You didn't say Miami.
because that's who it is, Miami. Boom, there you go, Miami.
Craig Martin.
Greg Morton.
I didn't know who that was.
He was
But
the head coach.
he was also a quarterback who took Dallas and Denver to the Super Bowl.
Look at that.
Interesting. Well, I don't think Craig Morton won a Super Bowl MVP. Kurt Warner only won one. So Tom Brady could have 2 Super Bowl MVPs with 2 different teams. I think that's the first guy to do that.
Kurt?
No, Brady.
Oh, Brady. First one to host a Super Bowl in the
What did we say? It's all about the firsts.
first and most. That's Tom Brady. Remember what the freaking article said. No player has. No, we can't gather more as accurate data from a player's Super Bowl. I don't know what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. Being in 10 Super Bowls, that's enough right there. That's enough sample size to get some data to use. Because
Let's see. I'm just looking
yeah,
at.
he could even go to more as a coach
Yeah.
if he coaches.
Yeah. I'm looking. I don't think. I'm looking.
He likes challenges.
I'm looking at all these Super Bowls just to see if they're going in my eye, right? If they're going in my eye. If they're ringing a bell of
They're going to your brain.
going to my brain. That's a hard question, and it's kind of a loaded question, but I don't think.
What the records?
No, I was gonna say who was the last non blank 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 to win Super Bowl MVP, but I don't think
Blank
that's what I
blank
said.
blank.
Because so the last 3 positions to win a Super Bowl MVP are quarterback, wide receiver, linebacker.
Whoa. Last 3?
Like the last 3 different ones.
Oh.
Quarterbacks, right? We've had a couple wide receivers in the last 4 wide receivers in the last 2 decades, and we had 2 linebackers. What's the record for teams in the Super Bowl wearing white? I'm glad you asked, Sam.
You already know?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Isn't it like 15 and 3, 13 and 3?
Last 13 years, they've won. They've been 12-1.
But when is that article from?
2020. It was actually released a year ago today.
Before the last Super Bowl.
Yes, before the last Super Bowl.
And the Chiefs ended up winning. So
Yes,
what, 13 and
right.
2, I think? White usually wins, but Chiefs won in red.
Yeah, they won in red, and I don't think in this game jersey color will matter.
Because of that one.
Because of that reason. Because you know why? The Chiefs are about to go win back-to-back Super Bowls. It's kind of crazy. Sammy Watkins and Frank Clark had already been talking about a third ring. Like Watkins asked about coming back, he says, "I wouldn't want to win the third ring."
Because I think they see the opportunity at hand. They want to take advantage of the opportunity of a lifetime, which is this team they have within the lifetime of the opportunity, because they aren't going to be together forever.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to see what next is there to do. We only won 1 Super Bowl. They know that. But then what's next, right? And that's joining that list of dynasties that we've talked about. Of course, Danny said, don't even bring that up until they win a second Super Bowl. I agree. There's a such thing as an NFL dynasty. And looking back, a true dynasty wins 3 Super Bowls. So this is just one. This is just the brink of the iceberg. Right now, it's beating the past close ones, right? Like Seattle. I thought Seattle would be a dynasty, right?
Yeah.
Maybe people thought Manning's Colts could do something. They didn't. Seattle's the closest we've had. Maybe Rodgers, Green Bay was close. They didn't.
No, it's been the next closest thing. You're right.
So that's why when they say we want to win more, they already got their eyes on being great, which I love, because they aren't settling for just good.
There was an excellent article in the Kansas City Star this past week about crap. Now I'm losing my train of thought too. About talking about the roster itself, this Chiefs roster, and how they built it around someone like Patrick Mahomes, how they built it around for Patrick Mahomes. And that's why it was important for Brett Veach, he talked about, to get those players locked around, because he saw how this team was in a locker room. It went beyond the talent. It went beyond the guys that earned the long term contracts with the Chiefs. Chris Jones, Frank Clark, Tyrann Mathieu. They talked about getting an extension. Kelsey, who got an extension and will continue to get the extensions for as long as he wants to play in Kansas City. But it talks about how it was more than just getting the players surrounded him around Mahomes. Now it was more important because yes, the talent itself too, but how they interact in the locker room with each other. And if you want something if something's clicking and it's working, then why let it go? Why ruin such a good thing? And that's why Brett Veach did what he did this past offseason. He knew the importance of it. That's why getting Chris Jones locked in on a contract, getting those certain superstars in now, so you're not going to be continuing the search for them while you got someone like Patrick Mahomes at your quarterback position. If you're gonna be a dynasty, I feel like that's every franchise's goal in the NFL is to be a dynasty at one point, to reach that hierarchy. Because getting Super Bowl rings is one thing, but it's your goals. Your goal. How can your goals get higher? Why does Tom Brady why does he look for a different challenge each season? It's why a franchise looks for a different challenge. That challenge of becoming a dynasty. When you got the clockwork and things locked in place, get him there now. Set it in stone so you're ready to go for the next 5 years. Because they saw what this team did last year, and they saw an opportunity. Brett Veach saw an opportunity to keep it there, to lock it in for the next 5 years, 10 years, matter of fact. And he did just that. And I Kansas City Star article talks about it. And yeah, what were we talking about before it?
I don't know, dynasties.
Oh yeah, talking about the talk of dynasties. Don't get in the next Super Bowl. Get this next Super Bowl, and look where they're at. They're back in the same position, so they can have that opportunity to get in the second Super Bowl.
I think one of your uncles just spoke like a very wise little quote.
Yeah, Uncle Ted. Teamwork to make the ring work.
That's right.
Teamwork to make the ring work.
That's what you got to do. They got to make their teamwork to make sure they keep having rings to fill those fingers. You have 10 fingers for a reason.
Hell yeah.
And you're right, Raj. And I think Brett Veach always looks for the future, the short-term and long-term future with the draft. What was it, a couple of years ago after Mahomes? All they do is draft defensive players, right? And everyone was like, you got zoned out.
I'm reading the comments.
Oh, you.
Andy Reid got the players.
This is what I said.
Yeah.
Mr. Comment Reader. A couple of years ago, right? Veach just went in and drafted all defensive players.
Yeah.
I think he's a really good drafter. I think he's already proven that.
He had some fumbles, but he made up for it.
But he never stopped. So he's got his way of drafting, and we've always said this. He's not drafting the best available. He drafts the player he wants, and he doesn't care if he's reaching or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're always looking, and you're exactly right. They need to draft well, but I don't have worries there.
And, people thought L'Jarius Sneed was a reach, but, during this week, during the interviews, Steve Spagnuolo in his first one, he talked about how he loved the film immediately, how he loved L'Jarius' film immediately. So, if anything, he probably got Sneed as a steal.
He did.
Danny loves to talk about steal of the drafts, and he thinks the Chiefs are kings at getting steals in the draft.
And I think that's why, because they don't wait for the player to drop to them. Brett Veach says, I don't care. Mm-hmm. That's the player I want. And I love that drafting mentality.
We have him valued here. We don't care what the national people say.
And that's great. Yeah, that's
they don't let the media, they don't let the national, they don't let anything get to their head.
After
this whole team, this whole culture, the culture of this team.
It's just the next step. Yeah. After repeat, we talk three-peat.
And that's a whole nother thing too. The relationship between Reid and Mahomes. They talked about communication was a big key. Communicating and being open. That's why it's worked so well, and that's why I think that could work well in just about anywhere.
Those are the keys to having a dynasty. Yeah. That is the recipe. A little bit, you need a lot of skill.
That's how
you need everything else. Drafting well. Yeah. You need the relationship to be good between your two stars, the head coach and the quarterback. Yeah, and you make sure everyone else. And then they sign these players. Frank Clark, he's a few million for a few years. Chris Jones, here you go. Matthew, your time is coming, right? On the other side of the ball, we gave you $500 million, but there's a difference between paying Matthew Stafford and paying Aaron Rodgers. There's a difference between investing in Tom Brady, investing in Patrick Mahomes. They paid him $500 million, and it's now time to invest. Investing in the defense as they did immediately. They're investing in the draft, And then with that offensive line, make sure you protect that $500 investment. And you have those weapons that are stars right now. And what about 5 years? You are exactly right.
You're just talking about the future right
I
now.
am. I'm sorry. I'm going. We need O-line. O-line. We need it. Right now, our O-line's average. And that's better, I think, than the last few years. I would like it to be better. I think it needs to be better. And I think that's what separated Rodgers, Manning on the Colts, Brady on the Patriots. They did have great O-linemen. Big. They all had the gray beards. And they all were there the whole time. That Patriots line, I felt like that never changed.
I'm looking at you on the
I
screen.
know.
I'm watching you because you're looking at me. Dad, you said it right there. Now the next step to this team is investing in protection, because like you said, you
invest in protection.
you got your big, because you gotta invest to protect your investment. I feel like that's a real thing, right?
Well, that's I think that's investing in your investment when you're protecting your investment.
It's why you pay for insurance.
That's why
It's
you
why
pay for
it's why you spend
insurance.
$3,000 on a laptop and then spend like 400 or however much insurance is on it. That's just putting more into it. You buy a $3,000 car, you got to go buy insurance
Exactly.
for
You
it.
don't just buy.
You got to
a
buy
$3,000
insurance for your
car.
Ferrari.
You don't just buy the $3,000 car. You're right. If the running game at all, whether it's CH or it's Bell if he's getting hot, or even Williams, if we show that the running game is something that this Tampa Bay defense needs to worry about, then they're really worried, because they got to worry about Mahomes all game, but they won't worry about the run until the run gets going, and the run
run
can
gets
get
going.
going.
The run can and it will get going. We'll
The run-
see.
as the run-
Chiefs can put themselves in a position scoring wise to where they need to get the run game going.
You
But wow, we treated this like a Friday episode.
yeah, you asked me about lunch, and I said no, it's just 11. Look at
And
the
then
time
you said
now.
trivia.
Look at the time.
All right, well, we'll be back Friday for a Red Friday episode for the Super Bowl. Thank you guys for tuning in today and keeping the comments filled as always. Hope you enjoyed the talks just as much as we did. We're gonna go like eat or take a nap now. I don't even know what's
Yeah,
gonna
you're
happen.
out of it, but
No, it's fine.
I'm ready. I'm ready to party.
We could switch over to the Armand show, which is strictly Armand camera.
No,
Double the quality.
I don't think people want to see that.
All right, well, thanks guys for tuning in.